In the 11th and 12th centuries, northern India was facing a relentless wave of disruption. Central Asian forces, led by figures like Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori, were launching repeated incursions across the Hindu Kush Mountains, drawing the northern kingdoms into constant, taxing conflicts. But if you look further south, the story changes. Peninsular India was shielded by vast distances and rugged mountain ranges like the Western Ghats, creating a natural physical barrier against those northern cavalry charges. This raises a question. How does a society evolve when it isn't forced to mobilize its people and resources for constant border defense? Instead of draining their treasuries on military survival, southern rulers redirected their resources outward, investing wealth into maritime expansion and monumental architecture. This geographic distance meant that while northern kingdoms were locked in a cycle of defense, the rulers of the south and east were free to invest their taxes and manpower into projects that reached far beyond their own borders. In present-day Tamil Nadu, the Chola dynasty capitalized on this stability. Through systematic administrative planning, Raja Chola I and his son Rajendra I expanded from local leaders into a major imperial powerhouse. Their primary strategic advantage lay on the water. While landlocked kingdoms fought over terrestrial borders, the Cholas treated the Indian Ocean as a lucrative highway, developing a massive navy. This allowed Rajendra I to launch an expedition across the Bay of Bengal to subdue the Srivijaya Empire in modern-day Indonesia. Effectively, the Cholas were performing a medieval version of modern maritime strategy, seizing control over the vital shipping lanes that connected Asia. This expedition secured more than just territory. It allowed the Cholas to monopolize trade with China and Southeast Asia, funneling immense wealth directly back to their capital. Historical evidence of this maritime culture remains today. This detailed stone bas-relief carving of a sailing vessel serves as physical proof of their advanced naval architecture and seafaring capabilities. By mastering maritime geography, the Cholas bypassed regional politics and projected their power far beyond the subcontinent, establishing themselves as a global economic force. The Cholas used this wealth to consolidate their power at home through unprecedented architectural projects. The physical manifestation of this ambition is the Brihadiswara Temple at Tanjavur. It required monumental engineering to lift its massive stone tiers into place. A structure this grand was a political broadcast in stone. It was designed to awe subjects and visually prove his divine right. These temple complexes also operated as economic centers. They employed thousands of artisans, priests, and laborers, centralizing the region's commerce under the eye of the royal court. In the absence of constant warfare, monumental architecture became the primary tool southern kings used to consolidate domestic control and project authority over their people. Moving northward along the eastern coast into Bengal, the Sena dynasty rose to prominence as the previous Pala rulers declined. The Senas initiated a deliberate cultural shift. They pivoted away from the Buddhist patronage of earlier kings to actively revive Hindu thought and literature. This period produced the poet Jayadeva's masterpiece, the Gita Govinda, a work celebrating the devotion of Radha and Krishna that would influence religious practice for centuries. Further south in Odisha, the eastern Gangas established themselves as a stable power. They constructed the massive Jagannatha temple at Puri to solidify their reign. This flourishing spread through other regional dynasties as well. The Hoysalas and Kakatiyas commissioned these intricate stone carvings, reflecting the era's elite craftsmanship. Across the eastern and southern peninsulas, geographic security fueled a competition of cultural output, where rival dynasties sought to outbuild and outwrite one another in a dense concentration of stone and Sanskrit. While northern history in this era was defined by conflict and survival, Peninsular India used its mastery of the sea and stone to create a different legacy. Consider how geography allowed the south to flourish, the ways naval power fueled Chola dominance, and the political motivations that drove Bengal's cultural shift. The maritime networks and monumental architecture established by these dynasties persist in modern India, found in its bustling coastal trade and enduring religious traditions.